Hi, this is Ray with Class 5. I'm here to show you how to log into Collaboration for Mid-Columbia Children's Council. So, first what you do is open up a Chrome browser, type in mccc.wildixin.com. If you go to the non-secure version, a pop-up will come up and ask you to go to the secure version. Choose that option. You should then come up to this welcome screen, enter your extension, and then your password. First time you log in, these options on the left will come up asking you for access to notifications, allow, microphone and camera if you have them. Microphone might also be from your headset, hit allow, and then also for location, hit allow. Now, on this main screen, this is called the Colleagues page. This shows you every single user on the phone system, okay? So from here, you can see their present status. You can see whether they're available, offline, do not disturb, away, special messages, which might say that they're in a conference until a certain time will show up if you just put your cursor over their extension. Okay, we're going to start from the top left here. Here, if you just type in an extension, like my cell phone number, you can then go off hook and dial that phone number. Now, how it's going to dial that phone number is going to be dependent on how you have this set up. Most of you are just going to have desk phones and you're not going to have headsets. So it's going to list that you have a workforce phone in this drop down right here. That's your desk phone. So if I was to take this phone number, type it in, and just hit the enter key, you'll actually see that it pops out, and it's actually dialing my cell phone number.
The person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been...
Now, that made my desk phone that is also logged in as Anna go off hook. You could then pick up the handset or leave it on speaker, but that's what's going to happen. So what you're doing is you're using Collaboration to control your desk phone, okay? So you can do your transfers, you can make your phone calls and everything through this web interface, and the phone will act on those decisions that you've made. Now, on this drop down, you'll notice it says web and it says workforce. It knows that I'm logged into this web browser, and it also knows that I'm logged into a workforce phone. If I log in on a cell phone, it'll also show either, I think, WebOS or Android as kind of the cell phone app that I'm logged into, and I can be logged into all three of those at the same time, and incoming calls can ring on all three of those at the same time. I can pick up whichever one I want. I can make phone calls out on whichever one I want. Okay? From here, you can, I'm just kind of working my way from the left to the right on the top. You can go here to send a SMS. We are not supporting that yet. We're working on that. Here you can send a fax if you have permission to do so. You can put whatever phone number you want in here to dial out. You can then choose files and add PDF documents only, one or more. Choose fax cover sheet and fill out the cover sheet, and then choose the send option at the bottom right. This is e-faxing, so it will go into a queue and may take up to 5 or 10 minutes before it actually gets sent out. Okay. The blue option right here is for video conferencing. We'll come to that at the very end. Right now on the colleague screen, again, you can see everybody here. On the far left, you have the ability to group them by sites, and that way you know who's at what site. And these will be updated as your sites change and add or remove users over time. Now, each user here, you'll actually be able to see their presence. So if I take one of these desk phones, and I call, well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this phone that I have on my desk, and I'm going to log in as extension 202.
The password. The phone is... Thank you.
Okay, now that's going to log me in, I think, as Kathy Martin, and I'm now logged in on her phone. You'll notice that her dot turned blue down here. So I'm actually going to call her extension from this other phone that I have on my desk. And I'm going to pick up that call. And if you notice, over Kathy Martin, there's a little red phone that says she's on the phone right now. If you put your cursor over it, it also shows that she has a call, and it says that she's talking to the receptionist. If you go to the receptionist, she's showing the opposite. She is showing that she's on a call to Kathy Martin. Now, this will also ring true if I hang up here and I take Kathy's phone and I dial my cell phone number. And I answer it. Put it on mute so I don't get any feedback here for you guys. And you'll notice that Kathy Martin again is red, and if you put your cursor over, it shows my caller ID. So you can see that she's talking to me. So this can be pretty helpful if you were hoping that somebody was going to get in contact with a parent or somebody else, and you weren't sure, and you see that that person's phone is busy. Put a cursor over, and you see that they're talking to that person. Well, you're done. They're taking care of what you wanted them to. Okay, that can be restricted by permissions if need be by management. Now, not only can you see their user status, you can also call them from right here. You can open up a chat window. And then if you hit the three dots, it'll also show you all the other options that the phone system knows how to get a hold of them. Now, that's the main work phone number, but maybe John enters in his personal cell phone, his home phone. All those might show up as a way to actually get a hold of him. Another option here is you can send a sticky note or a post-it note that will show up on his screen when he logs into Collaboration, so that maybe he didn't notice chat, maybe he's got a whole bunch of old chats and a bunch of notifications and he's not paying attention. The post-it note will show up right on the middle of his screen and he cannot miss it. Okay, you can do a call me back function. His email address is right here. And you can remove him from your list, which most people are not going to do. Okay. Now, if we move over to the other option, the other thing to do actually with this colleague screen, I want to show you this real quick, is if I was to call 201 from this phone, and I answer that phone, hold on for a sec, I need to actually log in to this desk phone.
Please enter your phone number
As Anna.
Please enter the password. Please enter your phone number, followed by the pound. Please enter the password. The phone is... Thank you.
Okay, that's going to resync this desk phone here that I have with Anna. There we go. If you notice, again, shows the workforce phone now. Okay, so if I call Anna from this other desk phone, I can now pick it up. So I just went off hook with the handset that's on my phone. I'm going to mute these guys so I don't get echo. Now, if I want to transfer this call from this web interface, even though I've got the call either on a headset or with the handset of my desk phone, I can actually just put my cursor right on this dot that represents this user, and I can drag it over, and I can actually transfer it to John. So if I let go, it's now going to show me my different options. If I use the handset right here that says call, that's a supervised transfer. So I'm going to hit call. It's going to put the caller on hold. I'm going to wait for John to answer. I'm going to say, hey, John, I've got the receptionist for you. John says, okay, I'll take the call. And then up here, you would just hit the transfer button to finish that transfer. Or I can use the arrow, the transfer button here, and it will do what's called a direct transfer. In other words, I'm completely out of the call. Once I hit that thing, it starts ringing on John's extension and he's taking it, or it's going to his voicemail. I'm out of the situation. Now, the other option I have down here is you'll notice that there's an icon here that represents voicemail. If I choose that option, that also means I'm transferring it to John's voicemail without it ringing his phone. Okay. I can also, if he had his cell phone number or home phone number, I could actually choose one of those external numbers from right here to do a supervised or a blind transfer to. So if you guys are the type of people that are gotten a hold of by the receptionist or something like that with your cell phone number, Freddie, or somebody else, then having your number here makes it a lot easier for the staff to transfer calls out and off the system. Now, if they're using the cell phone app, you just transfer to their extension and it'll ring the app on their cell phone and they'll answer it just like they're at their desk. Okay. Also from here, you can use the hold option, which kind of looks like a pause key, the transfer option, which we just shown. You can also do an ad hoc call record, which would record the conversation. And as soon as you hang up or hit stop recording, it will actually dump a copy of this call recorded into your voicemail list. Okay. Also, if you call into auto attendance, you can also use this DTMF key, which actually lets you use your number key to enter in numbers while you're on like an auto attendant or something, which might be a little bit easier sometimes than even using your desk phone. Okay. Now, let's go to function keys. Function keys. These are the actual programmed buttons, those keys that were on the buttons on your phone, okay? So there's the park keys that are here. You might have a day-night mode button. You might have a one-off speed dial that dials like your husband or wife. These are all keys that you can program one-off. Your phone can show you up to 16 programmable keys. Here, you can actually program as many as you want. Only the first 16 will actually be seen on a workforce phone because that's all it can see. However, your cell phone could see, if you've got 50 buttons programmed, it can see all 50 and have access to them. From here, we go to the chat option. So this is what a basic chat looks like. You can basically just talk to somebody through here. You can drag and drop an image and share it with the person. You can also share large files. If you've got a 2 gig file, or let's say you've got a Word document or something that you guys use for printing, you might share it in here real quick and they can just grab it on the other side. It also has, if you have a mic hooked up and you click on the mic, it will actually do a transcription for you instead of typing. And it's pretty accurate. From within this window, talking to whoever this person is, you can also call them. You can instigate a video call, not a video conference, but a video call. So all essential users can do this with cameras attached to their system, to their computer system. And it's okay if you actually do it one way. So let's say one person has a camera and the other person doesn't, but it's okay because you want to show them something. Then that's fine. You can instigate a video call, turn on your video camera on your side, and the other side will just be able to see you and hear you, but you won't see them, which is, sometimes still helpful. In this dropdown, you could also instigate a video conference or a screen share. You will need to load the screen share plugin, which I'll show you somewhere else. On the left, it'll show you a list of all of the different users that you have recently chatted with, and if you want to get rid of that history, you can right-click and just remove it. Okay. Moving on, you can go to the phone book. The phone book initially is just listed with all of the extensions in the entire telephone system. But eventually, if you get us a list of contacts, maybe company contacts, vendor contacts, we can actually upload those and make those available to everyone or just certain groups. And we can categorize them from here, and you can search them from here. Okay, they're editable, but you do need to have permission to edit users. You can go to call history. Within call history, anything that's red is going to show you a call that you missed. Anything in black is a call that you answered. It'll show you the caller ID name and number or the function. On the left, you'll have the date and time, and then the duration of the call. This is searchable by name, even partial names. And it's also searched by groups, so you can check what calls you missed, or even faxes that you've sent out. We don't have any on here to show you. Or if you had a call, let's say on Wednesday, you don't remember the name, you don't remember the number, but you know it was one of only a few calls that you took on Wednesday, you can actually search by date and, just by date. Okay? You can also, at any time, right-click and call that person. Or if the person is outside of your system and they're not already a contact, like mine here, you could go right-click and add them as a contact if you have permissions, and then you can choose, if you have multiple phone books, which phone book to have that person reside in. Voicemail. Voicemail is your typical visual voicemail. People that are on iPhones and such are pretty used to this. Again, it's going to show the caller ID, name, and number. It's going to show the date and the time and the duration. And then if you're to click on this little download option, usually what ends up happening is it downloads it and it auto opens up your music program that you use on your computer. Now, that will play it through either a headset or your speakers. If there's a privacy concern, you may want to access this through your desk phone or through your web app where you can listen to it on your phone held up to your ear. Now, under settings, these are settings that you can change for your personal use. Up here, you can change your password. This system is designed so one password rules them all. So the same password you use to log into the web collaboration is the same password you'd use to log into a desk phone, to log into your cell phone app, and the first 5 digits to log into your voicemail. Okay, and so you can change this whenever you want to. Web push, if that's green, it will do a pop-up notification, even if the screen is down, of incoming calls. You can upload your own picture, which could be your picture, could be a logo, whatever you're allowed to do. You can add, your email address. If your email address is in here, then you will get sent copies of your voicemails to your email address. If you put your mobile phone in here, that will make it so it shows up under colleagues. When you hit this drop down, it'll show up under cell phone and it'll show the phone number. You can, the dialing hotkey. So F11. Right now, F11 is the chosen, although I can change it to F10 just by actually pushing the F10 button or pushing the F11 button. So I'm going to leave it at F10. Actually, I'll go ahead and just for some reason this keyboard is acting a little goofy with me. So I'm going to leave it at F10. What this basically means is if you go to a website and let's see, car stereos. If I go and I find a phone number on here and I highlight that phone number, I can either right-click on it and choose the call option right there, which is enabled within Chrome because of the plugin. But this could be in Word, this could be in Excel, this could be in Internet Explorer. You could also just highlight this number and hit F10. Oh, I haven't saved it. My bad. Now if I highlight it and hit F10, you'll see that it went off hook. See? Okay, the rest of the features are not features that you will generally use. There are options in here to adjust how calls come in during daytime, do not disturb, internal, external calls. Most people will not play with those. However, you can change a different ringtone if you want to. that you may prefer, and you can click the play button to listen to what it is. The function keys, these are the buttons that were on this function, the FN keys page. Under settings, you can adjust these and you can add more buttons. Under web phone, if you are going to use a camera or you're going to use a headset or even your speakers just to hear things, this is where you can choose what device you want to use. So if you use a Bluetooth headset or a mic that's built in, you'll notice a green line is going up because it recognizes that I'm using the Brio microphone to record this. Okay? And so you can test it. You can choose all your different options. Now, if you have this open and you load one of those options, you may need to log out and log back in for it to show up in this drop down. Okay? Under extensions, so when you first install this web interface, you will want to install integration services immediately and also the browser extension as a minimum. If you are going to be doing faxing, you can also download the fax printer driver. This will show up as another printer on your computer. And if you're in, say, Word or Excel, you could actually choose to print from Word, choose the fax printer driver that shows up as Wildix, and that will actually allow you to fax directly from Word out through the phone system. The TAPI interface should only be needed if you have a third-party program on your computer that it needs to pass on phone number and caller information to in real time. Now, if you are using a headset, you're going to want to also install the headset plugin. Some of you in the main office, I don't think are using this, but just in case, if you are with a business license or higher, you can use the Outlook integration, and that will actually sync your calendar events. And it will also, when you do things like type in a name up here and it searches contacts, it will also search your Outlook contacts in this same window right here. So you won't have to go into Outlook and look for them. Okay. In this drop-down, if you have permissions, which this user does not, some people may have access to call reporting data and things. You would access them through this drop-down. Also, for troubleshooting purposes or to know what license you have, right here it will show you what license you have, and then it'll show you what software release that you're running on, just in case we need that for troubleshooting. On the top right, you can click on your little icon, which could be your picture if you've changed it. You can choose your available, away, and do not disturb status. You can edit your picture from right here. If you choose to change your status, you can actually type a status. You can, and then change your away at the same time. If you have the Outlook plugin, it will actually do this for you. It will change your status, and it will also probably put in the title that you've chosen for your calendar event. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers it. We'll be doing one more video on the cell phone app.